Hello, welcome. This is episode 60-ish of So Well Spoken.
Wow.
I'm Moris. With me is Mike.
What's up?
And Angelus.
I'm laughing at Mike.
What?
Mike's enjoying his
pizza. He's like,
Oh, you can hear it? Yeah. This shit's good, man.
That plus the delay, you were just like, what's up?
So the midterms have come and gone now.
Yeah.
So how was your voting experience in Florida, Angelus?
Predominantly white area, so in and out. But the news would basically tell you that it was not like that for the black folks at all, man. If you were a person of color, if you were in a predominantly person of color area, whew, those wait times, man, them shits was atrocious. Like, one place apparently only had 3 machines that worked.
Damn, y'all too?
Not me. We had 10 of those shits. I was like, bro.
I'm talking in Florida, I'm just saying.
Yeah, just period. It's just wow. It's all that for the entire South, though. It's the most blatant, quote unquote, incidental voter suppression that they can do, because it's oh, you can't actually prove that was done purposefully and maliciously. So it's just oh, that just happened to not work out in your guys' favor. Oops.
How was your experience, Mike, voting in Georgia?
I wanted to early vote, but because I was almost deathly sick and my car was messed up, I was last minute early voting. So I went into into the location, and that line was about almost wrapped. And granted, this is in the mall, right? That line was almost wrapped to the door of the mall, to the entrance. And I was like, oh no, I'm not having this. I'll vote election day. Election day was fine. It took me 40 minutes, but the line was long. There was a lot of people there. Mixed, diverse crowd. Really showing that gentrification in my neighborhood. And yeah, I voted. And then I saw the news and saw how everybody else was struggling. I was like, well, damn.
Yeah, Georgia getting done up.
Georgia, look, the thing with Georgia too is the person running for governor is the Secretary of State, and that's the most backward. I don't know why anybody didn't say anything so sooner about that, because he does have a big effect on how the votes are counted and who gets voted. He was trying to close down a bunch of voting centers in the more outside of the metro area where a lot of black people were, and it was just yo, fam, this shit's fucking rigged. Legit. It's rigged. We know it's rigged, but that shit was dude, you doing some heinous shit. A lot of it, excuse me, pizza. But a lot of it was was taken to court, which was good, but I don't think it's still a red state, and there's going to be a lot of voter suppression. There were voting centers where they didn't even have power cords, so the machines would die and shit. Jesse Jackson had to personally deliver some damn machines and shit. It was fucked up, fam. It was something else. And at the end of the day, the race was still close. And to be honest, by this point in the podcast, there's still nobody's won yet. Kemp declared victory or whatever, but Stacey thinks this is going to be a runoff, and there's a whole bunch of votes that's been unaccounted for. And Kemp also got found out for doxing too, because he has a whole bunch of people's registrations and information on a visible website as well. So, Georgia.
You've got, as Mike said, you've got, Kemp, who is basically a big stank piece of ain't shit, who is the Secretary of State, who's in charge of elections, and he's running for governor. It's that's a major conflict of interest. In any true democracy, people would have been wow, shut that shit down immediately. In America, it's oh, well, it's how we've always done it, so can't really change it. And unfortunately, we have a country in which when those kind of things go to court, nothing is retroactive. So he can win, and then Abrams can take him to court, and the verdict can be what he did was illegal, but he still gets to be governor. And it's just all right, It's really, really cool. They just go, you can't do that in the future. And I'm like, well, bitch, that doesn't help the now. Like, it's wild, man. It's just really crazy.
How was Cali?
My experience was a breeze, but because my polling station's like really close to my house, so I went as soon as it opened. Took me like 5 minutes in total. And we also have mail-in voting, so a lot of people vote before polls even open or any of that.
You tried that shit here. People were like, they votes never going. They votes never got registered or some bullshit. You spelled your Native American street name wrong, so you were gonna have to send this back.
Yeah, or you're one letter off, or you put RD instead of the whole word road. I'm like, oh, okay,
Yeah,
cool. We got to purge your vote here. We're just gonna dump a good couple 100,000 of them hoes out of here.
Are you moved and have a different address now?
Yeah, or your
Like
ID doesn't count.
They've been coming up with some wild reasons to purge votes.
They did the Native American community up in Dakota like dirty.
Yeah,
it was like, how many of them? It was like a few thousand, right?
Yeah.
Like, you can't use your Native American ID. And they're like, bitch, what? We've been using this ID for like for decades. And all of a sudden we can't use them now? Wow. I'm telling you, boy, one day Republicans going to push too much and people are going to start beating the shit out of them. I can't wait.
Whoa. Whoa. I mean, yeah, but whoa.
The thing that always annoys me, that pisses me off the most about it, is that people on a certain segment of this country will swear to you up and down how, America's the shining beacon of democracy and all this other bullshit. And it's like, bruh, if this shit that is going on in this country is going on in any other country, the UN and America would be like, you guys need to do it right. But it's like, it's happening here, and it's like, oh, well, that's the way the cookie crumbles. Like, all right, bet, say less.
And it's scary because we're legitimizing these things just by doing them because we're America and we're on that kind of stage internationally.
And the other thing is just like, we know this is all happening, and people's argument, like, you have that same segment of society who always tells you, oh, please remain civil even though this shit's happening, and go out there and vote to get it to change. Like, bitch, you want us to vote to stop voter suppression so that we can fucking vote. Like, man, I'm gonna smack you with the back of my hand because I don't get the palm dirty. Like, y'all are so annoying, bro. I swear. It's like,
out in Angelus land, you had Gillum versus DeSantis.
Yes. Gilliam actually
went to DeSantis.
Yeah, Gilliam has decided. Well, even though he conceding is not a binding legal thing, so they're still counting the votes now because it's that close. It could be a runoff as well.
Florida, they restored the vote to 1.4 million people.
Yep,
that's dope. That's weird though.
It's not really that weird when you think about it, because
because people just vote yes on amendments anyways.
Well, not only
think about it.
Not only that, it's the fact that people think that all those, like, I don't know, like when people talk about like that's weird. It's like, y'all do like people do realize that a lot of those films are white as shit. Like, I think a lot of people have this idea in the head that like
I never thought
it's
about
1.4 million black people who got their votes back. It's like, no, like a lot of them are white, bro. Like a lot of them are a bunch of white hillbilly Republicans who got their vote back.
I mean, but at the same time, it's like one of those like deals where it's like, if you really want jail to be a rehabilitation, you cannot be taking away people's voting rights. At least,
I agree.
Yeah, I think make them second-class citizens.
Yeah. Basically, not only that,
like,
it's also no taxation without representation. Like, how can you tax somebody, but they're not allowed to have a say in what they do with their tax? Like, that's fucked up.
Right.
That's the whole reason why. One of the reasons why you fucking fought for independence from Britain. Like, way to be hypocrites.
They don't give a fuck about that.
I know.
Shit.
Man, Republicans give a fuck about the Constitution about as much as, I don't got a good analogy right now. It's just terrible.
But it's bad.
It's bad.
But one thing I learned about this election, and I've been trying to check people on social media for it. Because you know how like minorities, they quick to blame each other. When every time we lose or whatever, like a race or whatever, it's like, damn it, y'all should have been voting. It's like, chill. It's not our fault. It's a clear, very, very clear picture of who's actually fucking us over
White
every single
people.
time. Thank you. It's very, very clear. I can't blame any minority anymore. I just can't. I just like it's clear as day. They always like majority on the right every single time.
Well, don't worry, you're gonna get a whole bunch of think pieces. How black votes let us down. Like, oh, it's gonna happen. It always happens. And I'm like, oh, here we go.
Yeah, because the demographic breakdowns for the Abrams Kemp vote came out, and I think it was like 18% of black women voted Kemp.
I'm pretty sure that I personally think that's like a fuck up. Like, I think that's some voter suppression shit.
It does look goofy because it was like 90 something for Hillary.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm calling shenanigans.
It's a little
on
fishy.
That.
Yeah.
What was the black men percentage?
It was like 8, bro.
So it was an inverse.
Yeah, so you know that shit was
It was
bullshit.
the opposite of what you would expect.
That's weird. That was off. I don't think that graph was right.
It's not I'm
Very
telling you, the votes are probably
suspicious.
fucked. Yeah, it's very suspicious. Like, there's no way in hell more black women are gonna vote for, like, nah,
Kemp?
man. Yeah,
For
exactly.
Kemp than black men did.
Hell
It doesn't.
no.
Black men will definitely, like, but black women, nah, bro. They're like, there's no power in voting for a white man over a black woman.
At all.
When the Beto O'Rourke Ted Cruz race, I think it was 59% of white women voted for Cruz.
Yep.
Along with 71% of white men.
Yep.
Dude, and this is the thing that kills me about this. Okay, you're conservative, whatever, but Ted Cruz is the best Republican candidate you could find to represent you.
He's incumbent, so I mean.
No, I mean, like, going back to his first whack at this. Like, Ted Cruz is the best candidate to come out of Texas.
Oh, yeah, I got you. Yeah.
Like, Beto's a solid Democrat, like, anywhere. But Cruz is just disgusting, really. Like a spineless, like, weasel.
Nobody likes him, bro. Like, not even Republicans like him. Like, Republican politicians don't like Ted Cruz. Like, that should be your wake up call. Like, damn, this guy might be a piece of ain't shit. Like, even the most trash people in politics don't like this guy.
Dog. They don't care, dude. They just follow whatever looks red.
They just vote for that arm. Yep.
They don't care. They don't even do the research. They don't pay attention. They don't get informed. They just do.
But no, like, honestly, in general though, especially for Florida, like for it to be as close as it was against DeSantis, I mean, dog, like, people really don't understand just how red Florida is and how fast it's becoming red because a bunch of geriatrics from their fucking states move here, like, all the time, like, dead ass. Every, like, fucking month, there are at least like 3,000 new old people in this fucking state, and it's just like, dog, they come from their states where they fucking voted conservative and fucked it up, come to Florida, want the exact same thing, and so they vote red too. And it's just like, y'all need to, first and foremost, y'all just need to fucking die already, because damn, you've been alive too long, just die. But just more so, the fact that Gillum got as close as he did, and he was like literally an unknown outside of being the mayor of Tallahassee. Like, I feel like the next, like, if we can get somebody as energetic as him again, and I think he's probably going to run again, because I think that they're probably going to make Bento on the short list for a presidential run in 2020, honestly. But it's like, if he can go out there again, I think he has a good chance of taking it, because, I mean, under DeSantis, it's pretty shitty. Like, and right now, there's like very little excuse as to why it's so shitty, you know, like, under Obama that Trump has inherited, the economy is doing great, but it's like the state's getting shittier. And like, so there's no other place that they can blame at this point for why things are getting shittier, despite all these claims of, oh, things are fucking awesome, we got all these fucking jobs, fucking wages went up 1.2%, you motherfuckers getting money. Like, all the fucking fake bravado that the Republicans have been shouting from like fucking the rooftops, a lot of people here aren't seeing it. And so it's like, they're turning to DeSantis like, all right, bro, we're giving you one more chance, do something about it. And it's just like, yeah, if he's going to continue what he's been doing, he's probably fucked, because it's like, people aren't happy with it. People have this idea that you need time in order to implement your policies, and it's like, bruh, these policies are pretty shitty. They've been shitty they're going to continue to be the exact same shitty ones that they've implemented, and they're not going to work still. So I don't know. We'll see.
So do we have like a potential presidential candidate?
I think that Beto is definitely going to run, bro.
Think so?
Yeah.
I gotta do some research though. To be honest, I was kind of like,
I really like
Cool.
him, honestly, like, which is shocking to me because I don't really like anybody, but I really like him. Like, he's actually very genuine about the shit he's talking about, and I'm like, wow, that's different. I'm not really used to motherfuckers being genuine like that, but he's actually gone into like the black areas, gone to the churches, like sat down in restaurants, talked to people like in a human way, like not even like paparazzi or shit like that. He just traveled there. So he's different to all 254 counties and talk with people. No, like just him, a truck, and some gas. Like, dog, I would vote for that dude, which is saying a lot. Enthusiastically vote for him, I should say. I ain't got really much of a choice.
So in bad news, the Republicans kept the Senate, which was expected because of the seats that were up for re-election were mostly Democratic. And West Virginia and Alabama both voted to restrict access to abortion.
which ones?
West Virginia and Alabama.
Okay, so don't go there. Okay.
I mean, yeah. I'm not going to say it, but yeah.
There's other smaller news that's very good, like Nebraska, Idaho, and it looks like Utah, it's not official yet, will expand Medicaid.
Okay, dope.
Which puts a lot of pressure on the Republicans trying to repeal everyone's health care.
They're still going to do it.
Colorado elected the first openly gay governor, Jared Polis.
That's dope.
Ocasio-Cortez became the youngest woman elected to Congress. And I think there were 2 Muslim women elected to Congress.
Yes.
So they're the 2 first Muslim women in Congress.
That's dope.
You know, Mike Pence has to swear them in on a Quran. It's going to be amazing. I can't wait.
I hope,
oh my
I hope
God.
they're smiling through the whole thing.
I'm so excited to watch it.
And it was like there was like a Native American MMA fighter, lesbian
lawyer. Yeah.
Like, damn. It's good to see more women faces in Congress.
Oh, definitely.
Because I'm tired of seeing these old geriatrics fake yell at people the entire time.
Yeah.
Weed got legalized in Michigan.
Yep. And a couple other states, wasn't it?
Medically legalized in Missouri.
There you go.
But it did not pass in North Dakota.
Damn.
North Dakota's not down.
One day.
So this, the big news is that Democrats took the House.
Yeah.
That was projected.
So they have the majority in the House now, which will help them investigate Trump and keep some of his policies from becoming law.
Yeah. Maxine Waters is the chairman of chairman of finances, so she's going to subpoena for dude's tax returns.
I thought she was Intel.
Pretty
Or
sure
somebody else.
was chairman of finances.
Okay.
Yeah, it's financial services.
Okay.
But another disheartening fact about this is that 8 million more people voted Democrat than Republican. And the Republicans picked up 3 additional seats in the Senate.
It's amazing how that works.
Because of how terribly gerrymandered our country is right now and all the voter suppression going on.
Amazing how that fucking works.
Every goddamn time.
Right? Remember the whole America does not represent the will of the people, that's for sure. Some old bullshit.
But the House becomes even more important because, as we found out earlier today, Jeff Sessions was fired by Donald Trump.
At his request.
At his request. That shit was so funny. Per your request, I am resigning.
I am fired.
Yeah, that shit's wild.
They can't even get rid of people normally there.
Sort of, man. That administration is just fucking terrible. Momentary hiring is all they do. It's just like
Trump said,
seasonal employees, man.
Yeah, basically. You got to check Twitter to make sure you still have a fucking job in the morning.
Trump said that the administration's hot and everyone wants to join it.
I'm just trying to join that shit. I would never join that shit, bro. I'd rather work at Walmart.
If I was a conservative, I wouldn't join Trump in any capacity. He's obviously a sinking
That
ship.
sounds like a
Yeah.
way to go to jail just by the association.
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, like he endorsed like what was it, 44 representatives and 21 lost. Like I would not want to be associated with Trump, bro. Like that's just a losing proposition for you as a person. Like, and then once Trump leaves, people have short term memories when it comes to the presidency, but for some reason they fucking remember who the fuck you were with, like who you were for. If you're a fucking representative, they got long memories on that shit.
Who's the dude who's taking over for Sessions in the interim?
Fuck, I forgot his name.
White.
Something like Whitaker or something.
Yeah, something that's white.
But he's controversial because he's stated before that he wanted to end Mueller's investigation.
Okay, good luck with that.
He even he wrote an op-ed, didn't he?
Yeah.
For someone.
Which is I can't think of the term right now, but you're not supposed to be able to take a position like that after you do something like that. Right, an op-ed. Conflict of interest. There we go.
It's just a gentleman's agreement. There is no law.
In his op-ed, he said that the process of shutting down Mueller's investigation would require too much red tape, and that if he were to do it, he would just defund the investigation until it by itself essentially grinded to a halt.
You know what? You know how like comic books they always got this like Legion of Doom and shit type shit, and you see all these like supervillains at one time. This is what we're living through right now. Like a legit as Lex Luthor won the presidency, and you got Norman Osborn over here, fucking in like government positions and shit like that. It's like literally like a bunch of supervillains at this point. At this point, it's not even like the covert shit anymore. It's like, yeah, I'm a villain. We fucking your shit up, and then everybody, and then a portion of the country just eats that shit up, and it's like sad as fuck.
The whole thing is just like mad depressing because it's like you got to tell your kids this shit. Like,
oh my
Donald
God.
Trump was president. Like, how'd that happen? Like, white people.
And I lived through Bush, so it's like, fam.
I know, goddamn. It's like we had to pay an atonement for living under Obama.
That's what it basically was. It was like, well, you had 8 years of your black guy. We're about to get the most terrible white person we can find.
Really, I can't think of a worse white person short of like David Duke.
Yeah, I was about to say David Duke. Man, if David Duke became president, I would legit just like somebody needs to assassinate that nigga. Like, I don't.
I mean, Jeff Sessions was the attorney general. He's like David Duke, like diet David Duke.
He's like David Duke adjacent. Like, bro, Jeff Sessions was so racist that the Republicans in 1980 were like, nah, bro, you can't become a federal judge.
Didn't like Coretta Scott or
yeah, Coretta Scott King. She's like, she pinned the letter to them and they were like, yeah, bro, you racist as fuck. Nah. Like Republicans, conservative Republicans, not all the parties flip. Like conservatives are like, bro, you racist as fuck. There is no way.
And that is a perfect anecdote for the asymmetrical polarization that's happening in politics.
Yeah.
Where the Republicans are getting more and more extreme in the conservatism, and it's dragging the Democrats to the center rather than towards the left.
Yeah, because Democrats really love this whole idea of compromising and bipartisanship with a party who literally has said vocally on record multiple times they're not trying to fucking be bipartisan with us. And it's just like, why do you keep trying? And you always get lectured like, oh, it's all about changing people's minds. Like, okay, keep that.
That's why I feel with this new generation, it feels like a whole new generation of like Democrats is going into the House. It doesn't like the same old political.
Yeah, the old guard's getting pushed out. Ideology is getting moved out.
Mm-hmm. That's why I'm excited about seeing a lot of these women in these positions. I'm like, this is like super ass progressive. Like this is some progressive ass shit I'm seeing. So hopefully that's why I have hope. It's going to be shot down in a few months, but hey,
it's going to be gone tomorrow.
Yeah, that's why I have hope that I feel like this is the golden goose opportunity for Democrats to really just say, okay, fuck all that old shit we've been doing. Let's do some new shit. Like literally, this is their like opportunity to really just get in their bag or whatever and start making moves. If they don't, then fuck them. Because at this point, y'all, there's no hope for y'all.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Nancy Pelosi,
Oh my
who's the
God.
projected Speaker of the House in 2 months, already came out and basically said that she's going to
Yeah,
try and
she
be
needs
as
to go,
bipartisan as she can.
She need to go.
I tried. I didn't vote for her, but
too.
she still won.
Unfortunately, she's very popular and she's good at her job when she actually does that shit correctly. But one thing I'm actually also really happy about is with so many of these younger women and men, but mostly younger women entering the field, and entering these positions. That's a lot. That's less corporate influence. You know what I mean? Like they're brand new. They haven't been bought yet. Oh shit. Keyword yet. We're so fucked. But
Damn, that cynicism came in before you even thought about it. You was like, damn, you caught yourself.
In the moment, right now, they are free of corporate mingling. Like they're individuals who are passionate about politics and helping people. They haven't become jaded yet. They haven't seen those $100,000 checks yet. So it's like maybe for like a couple of weeks or months, they can stay that way.
Yeah.
Would you take away everyone's health care for $100,000?
No. The fuck I'm
How much would it?
It wouldn't. I wouldn't do it. Period, man. Like
if you were the representative of Florida, let's say.
As much as I hate white people, I would still make sure that everybody got health care.
Oh, well, you wouldn't be the representative for Florida for very long.
In the South, that's a very losing proposition to be pro healthcare. Like you got to be like, honestly, you can probably get more votes from Republicans if you say you all deserve to die with no healthcare than if you say
if you don't have healthcare, that's what you get.
Yeah, basically, like you would probably get a standing ovation from people who don't have healthcare, like
and are actively dying from something.
Basically, like they're coming in there on oxygen tanks, like, oh, fuck yeah! I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna take away healthcare from all of them as long as you say them. They're like, yeah, fuck yeah! I'm like, you dumb shits.
What always trips me out when I see those videos of people who hate healthcare who don't have it, when they're like obviously unhealthy and like in their late 30s to early 40s and don't realize all the medical bills they're about to be covered in.
Yeah.
Like, dude, everyone needs healthcare. You can't predict, like, even if you like exercise every day and eat right and take care of yourself, like you get hit by a car tomorrow. Like no one's safe from this shit.
About to be on GoFundMe
and begging for people to unbreak your legs.
Yeah, it's so fucking wild that people vote against their interests on that shit.
And look,
it's amazing.
Look, I'm sitting over here not switching jobs simply because I don't want to lose my health insurance.
The job thing is like the number one thing that is so annoying about it, because it's like you're tied to a shitty job with low wages because it's like I got to keep my health care because number one, I might be sick or I might be taking care of sick family members. And it's like with a fucking national healthcare system, you know what I mean? That's alleviated. And the funny thing is that would be less expensive for fucking jobs, but in turn, they had to be competitive on wages. And they were like, oh, fuck that. We can just keep wages low and offer you fucking healthcare. You got no choice but to work, stay with us. It sucks. And it's like the people who it affects, a lot of them are fucking for it. And I'm just like, bro, are y'all you're that racist that you would rather fucking suffer than to let everybody have fucking healthcare? That is wild to me.
No handouts.
Yeah, like it's crazy to watch, like, I remember that documentary that I think Vice did. They went to Arkansas, and like a woman, her husband and her kids were sick, and she had some like a really shitty job that barely gave her any type of insurance. And Affordable Care Act kicked in, and she was able to finally afford medication. This chick went to the pharmacy and had, like her prescription had so many fucking bottles of pills and shit like that. And even though she realized that it was fucking Affordable Care Act that got her those fucking pills finally, she dead ass looked at the camera and was like, I still want it repealed because I don't like Obama. Like, bitch, you are willing to kill your kids and your husband because you don't like Obama. That is wild to me. Like, Oh my gosh, man. If it wasn't for the fact that your kid's involved, I would say, well, go ahead and die. But since your kid's involved, that's pretty fucked up for you to do. But your husband can die. That's cool.
He's an adult.
Yeah, like he has like I think they interviewed him too. He had the exact same feelings about Obamacare. Like, bro, you're on the fucking oxygen tank because you got fucking what is it, coal lung or whatever from working in coal mines. Like, what the fuck? The funny thing is, a lot of people don't know that in 2009, Obama passed an initiative to help people in the Midwest get retrained for jobs for like absolutely fucking free. And a lot of people don't ever use it, but it's always funny because Obama, Hillary, and Bernie have all gone on record multiple times saying, yeah, these jobs are fucking going away and there's nothing that we can really do to fucking bring them back because that's just the way the fucking world is going right now. However, we can get you trained in fucking a brand new fucking emerging field that is fucking renewable energies in which you can probably make as much as you fucking were
or
making
more.
with your fucking insurance fucking benefits. And people were like, we don't want that. I was born a coal miner, I'm gonna die a coal miner. Like, well then just go die then. Shit. Like, you solved your problem. Die. Because it's so wild that you
Like, oh, I didn't know you were willing to die. That's way easier.
yeah, like
There ain't no, that way nobody
it's
gotta pay you shit at all. That's the
exactly
point.
like, yo, you're saving the planet that way. And it's so wild that people like that they're that adamant on working these old dangerous jobs that are shitty in condition, give them terrible health complications with shit health insurance on top of it. And it's like all because you don't want to retrain, you don't want to have to fucking start from scratch. But yet at the same time, your entire group of people will fucking daily tell people who are struggling to take what you can get for a job. You know, stop asking for handouts. It's like that's very ironic coming from this group. Like it's oh my god.
They destroyed like their families and their neighborhoods by not taking that
Mhm.
offer. Like you were saying, like this goes back to '08 when those mining jobs were like in steep decline already. That was 10
Yeah.
years ago. And they refused these retraining programs and the renewable energies initiatives. And now it's 10 years later and it's like your children could have been trained in a career that could have lasted them their whole life.
Right.
Instead, now they're starting to go down in those mines that are not going to last the next 10 years. Like it's you did such a great disservice not just to yourself but to the generation after you.
And that's the
Mm-hmm.
most
Like
poisonous thing about it too. That is the most toxic thing about that is that you're
it's just so
yeah.
short-sighted
Yeah.
and for no gain because like has been repeated a million times, the market for coal is shrinking every day.
It's dumb. And the other thing is like that could have helped revitalize their fucking community. Like, stop the bleed off of youth leaving the fucking community.
Mhm.
Like, dude, like you literally are just destroying yourselves. And it's like they don't care. You know what I mean? Like they continue to vote in ways that fuck them over. Like I remember again, this is probably Vice. I'm pretty sure it's Vice. They were doing a documentary in the fucking rural areas, and they were like, one of their big issues was they wanted the post office to become a private entity run by private organizations. And I'm like, bruh, the minute that happened, your community would literally die because they're the only ones who are willing to deliver out there to you. Like the minute you do that, those for-profit corporations are going to look and say, wow, it's not worth it financially for us to drive out here to bumblefuck Mississippi. We're going to cut them off. Like that would immediately kill your little community. All those small mom and pop shops that depend on the post office, they're dead. Like your community would literally be flatlined immediately. And it's like people tell them that and they're just like, oh well, we can we'll go our own way. Like we're individualists. We don't ask for handouts. Like what the fuck does that even mean? Like you are willing to kill yourselves before you fucking admit that you live in a fucking society. Oh my god, that quote. Like you live in a society. You know what I mean?
Attempting to bring the coal jobs back is a
Yeah.
handout.
That's the thing that's killing me. It's like you're asking the government to stifle innovation and shit like that and literally stifle an emerging fucking market to prop up coal mining. Like that is the most entitlement type shit I've ever heard in
And
my
the
life.
fucked up thing
Like,
about it is that coal mining was a part of a progressive movement from back then and back in the day in the first place. So jobs had to get either replaced or new jobs had to come. Like you couldn't farm no more and shit like that because the coal mines were coming in and shit like that. So it's basically a repeat on history, and they're like literally being blind, like dumb as fuck blind to the fact that yes, things change over time. This coal thing was cool at one point. It ain't really flying no more. Just everybody farming and being rural at one point was a thing or whatever. It's like, yo, it's just it it's it's a lack of understanding of history and understanding history and understanding the times and progression and stuff like that. And they're so ignorant to it that they're unaware of everything that goes on with them. Period. So it's like it's just idiocy for idiocy's sake at this point. Like they don't want to hear anything else. They know better than you or me, even though we can see from outside their lens and we can see them suffering or we can see them like really just be living harder lives or whatever. Their kids going off to New York or California and becoming liberal as fuck because they know what their past was like, what their parents were like and shit like that, and their town gets poorer and poorer and poorer. It's like they don't see this shit, but it's like, or they see it, but they don't know. They they cling to whatever little life they have there because of their little feigned sense of individuality that they fuck themselves over at the end of the day, and their kids and their kids' kids. And
But like you said, like coal mining wasn't always the move.
it wasn't.
Like coal mining propped up a lot of towns that wouldn't and probably shouldn't exist.
Exactly.
And now that coal mining's out of, no one's really doing it anymore, the question becomes, do we need this town anymore?
Mm.
And it sounds callous, but like the only reason people went there was to mine.
Yeah.
Like it should have been an understanding that if you're not mining there, that town kind of just falls apart. And there were fallback options. It's just they didn't want the handout that the government was issuing them. They wanted the handout that doesn't make any fucking sense. And so now they're not getting either of it. Like the coal mine jobs ain't coming back. And now they're not properly trained for the future. And their kids aren't either. And now there's no job prospects over there.
Yep. A lot of these communities are like propped up by like a fucking Walmart and a Dollar Tree. And it's like, dog, if those pull out, your little shitty community just falls apart.
They definitely will when given the opportunity.
Definitely.
Because if they see themselves bleeding money at all, like the only reason they're getting money right now is because they're cheap and convenient and shit like that. But as soon as they start seeing that bleeding money or whatever, I've seen so many Walmarts close in Atlanta before. It's like it's ridiculous. So it's
honestly,
like,
yeah,
it's at the end of the day, they're just really just kind of shooting themselves in the head at this point. Not even in the foot, in the head. They're just trying to make this quick and easy because they're voting against their best interest, and that's pretty much the sum of this election and maybe not maybe the elections going forward. A lot of people are voting against their best interest, and they do not give a shit.
It's been the way of fucking conservatism since shit for fucking ever, really. Just put a group in front of them that you can demonize, and they will vote on the dumbest shit that hurts them as long as they think that it hurts said group. And it's like, sure, it might hurt that group, but it always hurts y'all more because y'all are woefully unprepared for that shit. Like the war on drugs, that did a number on us, and made people apathetic to drug addiction. But now look at y'all. You're fucking hooked on opioids, and nobody gives a fuck about you, and you're just dying at a rapid rate. And you know what?
Oh, here we go.
SoWellspoken.com.
I was just gonna say, you know what? There's nothing that we can do about it at this point. Like nobody cares anymore. Yeah, it's like literally white people who look just like you and people of color. Nobody gives a fuck about your plight because you didn't give a fuck about anybody else's, and the country got conditioned to think that people who were on drugs, who were suffering from addiction, that's their own fault and they do not deserve help from anyone else. And now it's like that same perspective is being applied to them. Like, oh my God, we need to change the narrative. Like, nah, keep that same energy you had from the 80s, my nigga. Like, keep that same energy. Tough it out. You better get yourself off of drugs.
And what should be really scary for them is like is how so many people come into contact with these drugs for the first time through prescriptions from some doctors.
Yep.
Yep.
It's not like some shit and then folks cooking in the kitchen or whatever. It's just like, yo, I got this. I had a broken leg, or whatever. You want this? Want the rest of mine? What you call it? And like, yeah. It's like that's people legit go to urgent care simply to get opioids, man. Like
Yeah, man.
that's such a misuse of something so good. You know what I mean? It's just like, yo, what the fuck?
But I mean, that's how it happens, though, man. You get addicted to it, and you're just like, "Fuck, I gotta get this shit any way I can."
I have a anecdote about this when the last time I was in the emergency room. And if you've ever been in the emergency room in America, it's a nightmare.
Yeah.
You're sitting around a bunch of people slowly dying. And it was
Jesus.
like, oh, dude, like no joke.
He's
People were
not lying.
like,
He's not
there was a
lying.
dude in there with a broken leg who was just sitting down in a chair, like across from us. He was just waiting to get his leg unbroken, and
Just dangling by skin.
and
God.
some guy comes in with what I assume was his wife, right? And she's like hollering in pain. And I'm like, yo, why isn't someone coming out here and helping this woman? She sounds like she's dying. But after a few minutes, I realized she's probably just going through opioid withdrawal because she was in the bathroom most of the time and she was screaming about how her stomach felt like razor blades.
Oh yeah, that definitely sounds like withdrawal.
Yeah, and her husband was just like over it. He was like sitting in the chair just pissed instead of like, like rubbing her back or like worried at all. It seemed like this wasn't his first rodeo.
Tired of shit.
And it just like, did you really bring like your withdrawing wife to the emergency room so she could beg for more prescription drugs?
It's wild. Like on one hand, I feel terrible, but on the other hand, it's just like you got to stop voting for things that are fucking you over like this. Like
That's a PSA. If you're ever prescribed opioids, you're probably best off just not taking them.
Yeah. Like if I ever get injured and they're like, we need to put you on painkillers, I'm like, nah, bro, I'm good. Like,
just give me that
Like,
Tylenol or
it-
something.
yeah, like, give me some
You know what? I was
Tylenol.
gonna say it's that bad, but then I look at all these like celebrities that die because of that shit because they just get addicted to it. It's like
I'm not-
It's just heroin. Like that's all it is.
Yeah, I'm not taking no risk. Fuck that shit, bro.
what can
Because
I take
like
then?
addiction,
Motrin?
addiction
Aspirin?
sneaks up on you like that. Like addiction sneaks up on you. It's not like, you take one and then you make the conscious decision to get more. Like you're taking it and you're like, man, fucking, I'm still in pain. So you take some more. And then the smallest pains, you're like, I need the relief from it.
You
And
know
next
what?
thing you know it, you're a whole ass addict.
You know
I'm good
what?
on that.
That makes complete sense because I was definitely chucking out a whole bunch of acetaminophen this past week. Oh my god. Yeah, because I was just like, fuck, every 6 hours I gotta take some more fucking painkiller because my throat was like hurting that bad.
Yeah, when you're like really fucked up, like
Yeah.
when you're legitimately hurt, you want some relief.
Yeah.
And to give people opioids it's just so fucking dangerous.
Yeah. And unfortunately, doctors, they tend to give people opioids for like the smallest pains. You know what I mean? And
Dude,
this is
dentists prescribe it.
Yeah.
this is one area that racism is working in black people's favors. Because there's like within the medical community, even to this day, there's still this stigma and this idea that black people don't feel pain, so they are less likely to prescribe us painkillers. So, ta-da! We are not getting addicted to opioids at the rate white people are because doctors think we feel no pain. So it's like, oh shit, look at that racism working for us for once. This is great. Because I think like the latest statistics said that white people are getting addicted to opioids at a rate of 15 to 1 to black people. So it's like, dog. Thank God you guys think that we don't feel any pain. It hurts, but I'd rather be in pain than be hooked on opioids.
And shout out to the executive T, where I pulled most of this info from for this podcast.
Word.
They are just straight up a legitimate good source of info if you want to stay up to date on politics.
They are really great. They're usually the ones I go to when I just need a quick update on some stuff.
Exactly what you need to know about what's happening right
Pretty
now.
much why I followed them. Like they're a big news source for me. I'm like, oh, what's going on? They got me. Say less.
And with no real lean either. It's not like it's like trying to be like overly like because you know how like the root is sometimes when you get to their
A
article.
little bit, yeah.
It's
When
like
the root just really tries with their fucking headlines, you're just like, can you please stop? Like these headlines are terrible.
trying to be like boss up and shit.
Yeah, like please stop. Like, please. Like Vanilla Wafer says this, like, bro, just say the person's name and what the fuck they said for your headline. I beg. Like, stop this.
Yeah. So I definitely enjoy the gals at Executive T. Yeah. Oh, I got a slight headache. That pizza kind of got to me.
Take a painkiller.
Take some Oxy.
I'm still
Take some Oxy.
Got any fentanyl?
Whoa. I'm still taking antibiotics.
Take a couple Zans so you're out like a light.
SoWellspoken.com.
So Well Spoken Pod on all social media sites.
We're basically everywhere at this point.
It's been a while, right? It's like been like what, a month or two?
Something like that.
Too. It's only been one.
We got taken out by that bug that Mike caught and Red Dead Redemption 2. Well, that's me and you.
I mean,
you were sick.
I'm pretty sure there was some time before that we could have recorded, you know.
There might have been.
No, I mean, we did record one time and the shit didn't work. Or something that happened.
True,
so.
Yeah.
Remember to register to vote.
Again?
Everyone who's listening who isn't.
Always register, man. Like, hell, both Florida and Georgia just have like a shitload of absentee ballots just sitting there.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not the biggest fan of our electoral system, but I feel like as a brown person in America, voting is almost an act of protest.
Yeah.
I mean, it's basically the last line of defense before we start burning shit down. So, yeah.
Like, you know how mad the founding fathers would be if they saw me in a line to go vote?
Man, they saw black people, they probably would just shut America down. Like, shut the whole thing down.
The fuck y'all got going on here?
Yeah, like y'all gave them rights? Who the fuck told y'all to do that?
I don't know. George Washington probably pissed if there's a two-party system. Like, I told y'all when I left not to do.
Bro, you know how many presidents would be
shit.
upset with current America?
Yeah.
Like fucking Roosevelt was like, hey man, be careful of the fucking military industrial complex. And what do you know? That shit's a fucking $800 billion fucking entity. And it's like, yeah.
Shit just happened regardless. It's like, yeah, guys, watch out for this. And everybody's like,
everything they warned us about happened.
Yeah, back to back. like, the ball was killed.
One president was like, watch out for the black people. And then next thing you know, we got rights. Like, well, I told you. You don't listen to me.
Woodrow Wilson is rolling in his grave right now. Fuck that nigga. Fucking
Andrew Jackson's like, hey man, fiat money is trash. Next thing you know, this nigga's face is on a bill. He's like, come on.
Why? I still don't understand why he's on a $20 bill to this day.
It was out of spite because he was so against fiat currency, and so they put him on a bill.
Country bumpkin ass nigga. Anyways,
it was stupid. They need to replace him. He was gonna be replaced by Harriet Tubman, but that did not happen.
Yeah, what happened with that? How did that fall
apart? It wasn't going to happen until like 2020 something, anyways, or even 2030. It was going to happen like decades from by the time
2020.
Yeah,
to be exact. But unfortunately,
given the current people in office, I doubt that'll happen at all.
That's definitely not happening. I can assure you.
They delayed the Tubman.
No, it wasn't.
It's probably not going to ever happen. Like they still have to pass on it, and they're not going to.
Oh, I thought it was like in the works.
It was. It hasn't finished passing, so it's like, yeah, you're waiting for Trump to approve it.
Oh,
yeah.
Is that what I'm waiting for?
You're not gonna get that. You're like more likely to get like fucking what's that white woman's name?
You get Hulk Hogan on the 20.
Probably get like fucking Rand on there, Aaron Rand or whatever her name is on there. Yeah.
Donald Trump. No, who does Donald Trump look up to that he would put? He would probably put like the Colonel on the 20.
His dad's the only person he looks up to.
Probably put himself on there. What
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
I'm so stupid.
Yeah,
You're
of
right,
course.
Mike.
He put himself on there. Like
he'll either put himself or his dad on there, and that would be weird as shit. Because his dad, that man looked like a science experiment gone wrong. His mom too. You talk some great genetics. I don't know about it. We never touched on Donald Trump trying to get rid of birthright citizenship.
We have to save something for the next one. We're already over an hour.
I mean, shit.
See,
between here and the next one, so much shit's gonna go down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll probably be deported by then.
Oh damn.
That just got so dark.
Shit.
So fucking
If you
dark.
be in Angelus. Hey guys,
I don't know. They might try to send us back to Africa.
you were born here, like, dude. You so many generations behind.
It don't matter. They'll send you back. They'll just put you on a plane and just put you in any country. Like, there you go. Like, nigga, I'm not even fucking Egyptian. What the fuck am I doing here?
Dude, Angelus, is Dreams all right?
Bro, listen, okay.
Oh
I haven't
my
heard
God.
from Dreams in like fucking months, yo. Like, dead ass. Like,
Oh man.
Dreams has just been playing fucking Destiny 2, bro. It's wild. I'm like, bro, I will write that dude. I will text him like, hey, you all right, fam? And I'll get nothing back. But I'll check my Battle.net. Dreams is playing Destiny 2 in the lobby. I'm like, bruh. Like, that nigga is Destiny 2, man. How's your daughter doing, Moris?
She's all right. She's doing all right.
Does she know that you're you smoke drugs? You smoke weed yet? Has she figured it out?
Yeah, maybe.
He's like giving up on like trying to deny it. He's like, nah, yeah, it's probably.
What's she gonna do? Call the cops?
That's true. You do live in a marijuana friendly place.
I wish she would call the cops on me.
Well, damn.
Can she hear you?
I wish a nigga would. Oh, damn. I am going to start streaming again. Resident Evil, starting from 1, director's cut, and then all up to remake 2 when it drops next year. Not making a big event out of it. Just what I'll be streaming.
You're sponsored now, aren't you? Like a partner?
Verify, yeah. So you can subscribe to me now.
I'm doing that.
Okay. Yeah, you can put like $250 in my pocket if you want. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. Help a man trying to get into the industry and stuff. Yeah, okay. We're getting the podcast now. Go ahead. Pull the lever.
Soulspoken.com.
Log in. Gang gang.